You got one of those?
Yeah.
Like one? No, this one.
We're the only group that's got a recipe for action.
Well, I've got one here.
There he is, look. There he is!
Right, let him have it, lads! Look, someone! Come on, don't let the buses get away with it! Yes, it's got it! You won't get away with it! Get on with it!
Well, Giles?
Wow, makes me sick.
That's Big Daddy, is it?
Well, then, lads, is that it? Are you just going to stand there and take it? No! Right, well, you hold the answer. The power's in your hands. Right. Come on, lads. Let's show 'em what you're made of. Well, come on, lads, don't just stand there. You've got to get back in there and start working. Keep on working. You've got to work for your jobs. Work for your livelihood. For your pride, lads! Come on, break down the barriers of the capitalist buses! Work at the line!
Ain't time to leave. Sod that.
So, Vince nearly got himself arrested.
Yeah, did you see him take a swing at that police sergeant?
He really gets through to you, eh?
He talks a lot of sense. Well, look, Rick, Vince is committed. I mean, you bitch about the system and I bitch about the system, but that's all we do about it. Vince isn't like that. He does something.
Yeah. God help anyone who gets in the way. I mean, whoever he is.
Well, sometimes people get hurt. I mean, it's unavoidable.
Oh, sure. But it certainly won't be Vince.
So you're definitely not going to reopen Cransworth?
I can't quite see how that affects you.
Did you intend to close it down when you bought it?
You came home just to ask me that?
Yes, I did.
Oh, Giles, I admire your sense of social
Did
responsibility.
you always intend to close it?
It was always a possibility, yes.
Well, then why buy it in the first place?
Oh, come on, don't be naive. The firm does have marketable assets.
Oh, which you intend to strip?
What is all this, eh? I thought you were reading sociology, not economics.
Look, Dad, you don't have to close it down.
Well, of course I do.
Well, why?
Because the place isn't economically viable.
But then make it viable.
Giles, I'm afraid that's not possible.
Well, what about the people who work there?
Well, they'll receive their redundancy payments.
Oh, that makes it all right, does it? Redundant. They've been suitably labeled.
Well, I don't make the rules, you know.
Look, Dad, I have been down at that factory.
Have you indeed?
The work-in has given the men back their pride, but they say they can't sell their products because somebody's put a block on their sales outlets.
Their products?
Look, Dad, take the block off.
You can't be serious. Now listen. These heroes of your little revolution have taken over my factory, commandeered my plant, and are using my raw materials to produce their so-called product. They also happen to be holding up a deal that's costing my company thousands. So you aren't seriously asking me to cooperate with them to rob me, are you?
Dad, they are fighting for their livelihoods.
And so am I, Giles. So am I. Oh, come on. I mean, you don't really think that I've achieved all of this simply by sitting behind a desk signing letters, do you?
It is obscene. All of this, when there are people out of work.
Yeah, so that's a fashionable enough student attitude, I suppose. I must say I can't remember you complaining about it before.
Yeah?
I'm looking for my son, Giles. Have you any idea where I can find him?
Hey, Mr. Robinson. The Mr. Robinson.
Where is he, do you know?
Oh, he left.
When?
About a week ago.
Where's he gone, do you know?
I've no idea, sorry.
I see. Thank you.
Yes?
Marker, Frank Marker.
Yes?
Mr. Robinson rang me. Said he wanted me to come and see him.
Come in, please.
Yep.
Yes?
There's a Mr. Marker to see you.
Yes, show me.
Mr. Marker, Mr. Robinson will see you now.
Yep. Mr. Robinson.
Mr. Marker, sit down.
Thank you. Sorry if I'm a bit late. It's the bus service. Every time they improve it, it gets worse.
Don't you have a car?
It's being serviced.
Now, you're a private detective. I'm told quite a competent one. My son, Giles. He's in his final year at Southern, reading sociology. At least he was.
Oh?
He has his finals coming up very shortly, and I had assumed that he had his head down somewhere cramming, but yesterday I received a call from his tutor.
Oh, yes.
He told me that Giles had missed a couple of tutorials. One of the other students had told him he'd simply dropped out. I went down to the university and saw the chap he shares rooms with. He couldn't, or he wouldn't help.
Why wouldn't it? Want to, I mean.
Now, that's rather what I was hoping you would find out. And where he is, of course.
What about the police?
I spoke to Percy Fairbank. You used to know him, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Yes, in Windsor.
He recommended you.
Have you any idea why your son should decide to take off just like that?
Oh, we had a bit of a row, a difference of opinion. I can't imagine that was enough, though.
What was it about? The row?
Economics.
Go away, the funeral's Wednesday. Hell. Yeah?
Is Giles in?
Giles who?
Giles Robinson.
I'm sorry, I can't help you.
How do you know you haven't tried yet?
Look, I told you I can't help you. He's not here anymore. He left.
Really?
Oh, look, who are you? Local Gestapo or what?
Would it worry you if I was?
Well, why should it?
Well, you'd know the answer to that, I would have thought.
Hey, what do you want?
I want to find Giles Robinson.
Why?
His father wants me to.
Sorry.
What you sorry about?
Sorry, I can't tell you.
Well, why can't you tell me? Isn't the reason good enough or what?
Look, I told you, he's not here. He left. He said he'd had enough of this scene and he was going to split. Then he split.
Why?
The wallpaper, one of them had to go.
What about his letters? Must have left a forwarding address.
No, he just turns up and collects them.
Oh, then he's still in the town, is he? Thanks.
Yeah, hello? Oh, hi, Rick. Oh? An inquiry agent? Yeah, well, thanks for the tip-off.
That's really very good. Okay. Enjoy. Thanks very much.
Hello.
Hi, Rick.
Is Giles here?
No. Why?
Oh, I just said I'd meet him in here. It's nothing, don't worry. Do you want a drink?
No, I'm all right.
Oh, bitter, please.
Hi, Jan. Hi, Rick. Set us up a half, will you?
Is Vince with you?
No, he told me to tell you he'd be down around 9.
Oh. Well, what does it feel like working for a living?
It's great. Should come down sometime.
Fancy me in a snood working over a machine, do you? Charming.
Would you like to buy a copy of Workers' Arise?
Hang on. Can I have one of those?
Yeah, sure.
How much?
It's 10 pence.
10?
Well, cheaper twice the price. The Word, hot from Sinai.
Oh, well, if you say so.
Cheers.
You got a minute to spare me by your drink?
Hey, watch it, Giles. This is a guy.
Yeah, that's right. Frank Marker, how about that drink?
No, thanks. You again.
2 minutes.
Look, I've got nothing to say to you.
I'm sure we could find something.
Look, what is it with you? He's paying you to find me, right?
That's right.
Right. So you found me. So go and tell the man where I am and collect your money. Look, what more do you want?
Information. Got to earn me money, haven't I? Well, your father would like to know what all this is about. You don't just drop out without a reason.
He wouldn't understand.
Or would I?
I doubt it.
Well, why not? I've got an open mind, I think.
It's none of your damn business.
Finals next week, isn't it?
I shan't be taking them.
Ah, what is it? Strain?
That's got nothing to do with it.
No.
Look, he sent you to find out why, right?
That's right.
Right, well, you tell him this. You tell him my stomach just couldn't take any more.
What of? Sociology?
Of him. What he represents. The education his money's buying me.
Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear.
Oh, that bothers you, does it?
And I can't afford to let it. I wasn't born with your privileges.
Well, you're welcome to them.
I see. Sackcloth and ashes, huh? But how does missing your finals actually help?
Exams aren't important. They're just an archaic feature of an obsolete system.
Now, where have I heard that before?
Was there anything else before you go?
Yes, just one thing. Will you be getting in touch with your father? Tell him what you just told me?
No, you tell him for me. That is what you're being paid for, isn't it?
Okay.
You will presumably be telling him where he can find me.
That's another one of those things I'm being paid for, I'm afraid.
I won't be here, of course.
Not my problem.
So that's our private detective, is it?
Is something amusing you?
Do you think he's religious? Sackcloth and ashes. And lo, after 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness, grovelling for husks with the rest of the working-class swine, he returned to his father's house. And his father forgave him the engine oil under his fingernails. And they both sat down with a family silver to fatted calf and chips.
Get not. I'll have to find somewhere else to live.
Why?
I know him. He won't leave me alone.
Fun father, eh? That's understandable, I suppose. Only son. His little foothold in immortality. Oh, look, there's no sweat, kid. We can move in with Janet. She's got plenty of room. I'm sick of that old bag downstairs anyway.
Well, won't she mind? I mean, Janet.
Why should she? Did you give her my message down the pub?
Yeah, I did.
There's only one thing, of course.
What's that?
Well, I wouldn't want to have to break your arm, so hands off, eh?
Is it not working?
Did you miss me then?
Mine's half a pint. Wait!
Hi, Jan.
Hey, did you shake off your shadow?
Did he? Hell, he brought him back to the flat.
And he must be worried.
Gotta be. What are you having then, Charlesy?
Oh, I'll have a quick half before I go.
Go?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Night shift.
Night shift? Did you hear that? Giles is going on night shift.
Greater love than this hath no man. Then he's prepared to give up his sleep for his fellow workers.
I thought you might have been down yourself. Give us a hand.
Now, you know my philosophy, Gilesy. The pen is mightier than the ploughshare, son.
Cheers.
Thanks, Cheers.
Oh, where's Rick?
Had to go, got to revise or something.
Ooh, another victim of the system, eh? Not like Gilesy here.
Well, you know, it's important to him.
Oh, yeah, sure. Thank God my student days are over.
Right.
Oh, Gilesy and me thought we'd move into your place, love. Just for a bit.
With me?
Oh, you've got plenty of room.
Okay.
You sure you don't mind, Jack?
Of course she doesn't mind. Why should she
Great.
mind?
I've got to be off. Here, flog a few of those.
Enjoy yourself, then. Don't get your hands too dirty.
Bye. Cultivating our young student, aren't we?
For the very best of reasons, sweetheart. The bills are still got to be paid.
You're a leech. You know that, don't you?
Very quick worker, Mr. Marker.
There's no guarantee he'll still be there, of course.
Anything else?
Oh, yes. He's found himself a job.
What sort of job?
Labouring job, from what I can gather, with that firm where they're having to work in.
Cransworth?
That's right, yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Get me the general manager of Cransworth.
night shift?
Oh, you drop off, you know.
Don't think I could ever do that.
You'd be surprised how you get used to it.
Oh, hi, Vince. Somebody's burning. You're boiling water in there again?
Oh, very funny.
Hey, I saw Rick. He sent you that.
Oh, cheers.
Come on, then. Where's the chop and chips? Man cannot live by love alone, you know.
It's egg and chips, and the fat's not hot enough yet. Oh, leave it alone, will you?
Hey, Vince.
Yeah?
It's from my father. He's going to reopen the factory.
Can I?
Yeah, sure.
What was that?
It's from my old man. He's called off the close down.
Well, that's great. Isn't that great, Vince?
I'd better go and tell the lads. What's so funny?
You found out, then, that you were working there?
Yeah, it looks as though he has. He says it's one of the things that made him change his mind.
Yeah. So I see.
Also,
One of the things. Did he say one of the things?
Look, what does it matter what made him change his mind?
Of course it matters. That's all that matters. I mean, what is all this about, eh? What are we on about every week in this? I'll tell you what we're on about. We're on about privilege and favoured sons and royal whim. Oh, yes, definitely royal whim. I mean, isn't it bloody marvellous when you think about it? A fortnight ago, keeping that place open made no economic sense to him whatsoever. And now he goes and changes his mind like magic. Why? I'll tell you why. Because Big Daddy wants his little lad back. And if he wants his little lad back, then he's going to have him back. Even if it means buying him back with that factory. Well, do yourself a favour, Gilesy. Get back home, son. The fatted calf's getting cold.
That's not fair, Vince.
Fair? Oh, Christ. What's fair about any of this? Here are we, flogging our guts out, hawking that pap around the place.
what the hell are you on about?
Well, all this milk and water stuff.
Well, what do you want to do? Storm the barricades?
Oh, that phrase sounds really sick in your mealy mouth.
Look, what's got into you?
He has.
I'm so sorry.
Are you? I mean, is this all about you and your bloody conscience?
That's not true.
Isn't it? You think we've won the war just because Daddy's conceded one battle?
All right. What do you want me to do?
Well, do something, man. Something effective.
We're all doing what we can, Vince. And it's not pap. It's a good paper, and you know it.
Okay. It's a good paper. How many did we sell last week?
Nearly 400.
400. That doesn't even pay for the printing costs. Look, if you want to do something effective, then plant a bomb.
What?
Not a real one. We wouldn't want to hurt anybody, would we? No, I mean a publicity explosion.
I don't get you.
What do you mean?
Stuff a couple of bundles of these in your local store. Ring the manager, and the message will get through loud and clear for a change.
It's a good idea. Bloody good publicity.
Would it be good publicity?
Whoever heard of bad publicity?
There speaks a capitalist.
Oh. Oh, good morning.
Who's Apollo Ariels?
Oh, previous people.
I should get it taken down if I were you.
Yes, I will. Sit down. What can I do for you?
You find my son for me.
What again?
I went to the address you gave me. He wasn't there.
Yeah, well, I did warn you. Did you try the pub?
Yes, he wasn't there either. I wrote him a letter. I left it with his roommate at the university. I still haven't heard from him.
Well, did you think you would?
Yes, I thought perhaps I might, in view of what I put in the letter.
What was that?
I told him I'd reopen the factory. Mr.
Mr. Robinson, mind if I ask you something? Straight question.
Of course.
Suppose I do find your son again. What happens then?
What do you mean?
What's the point? I told you what he said last time. He doesn't want to know.
Yes, well, you have to understand about Giles. With me now, to do my job properly, I suppose you have to be something of a computer. Sometimes things tend to spill over into your personal life. To Giles, on the other hand, he's an incurable romantic. He's like his mother was. Just like his mother was. What I'm trying to tell you is that he takes up things, fads and causes. Never last, you know. Never last.
Yeah.
The bathroom's through there.
Ah, very cosy.
The rent's £7 a week, payable a month in advance, pay your own gas or electricity bills.
Oh, yes, of course.
I'll give the place a good clean. Last lot left it like a pigsty.
Students?
One of them was. The young one. Don't know about the other one.
What were their names?
Why?
Oh, no particular reason. I know some of them up there, that's all.
Well, Mr. Robinson was the young one, and Mr. Gregson.
Gregson? No, don't know.
Well, you missed nothing, I can tell you. I was on about Marx and Moo. I told Gregson. If he feels like that about the country, get over to Russia. Get a basinful for himself. 2 months' rent they owed me, those two, and they did their midnight fleet. Do you want the room, then?
I'll let you know. All right. Hello, yes, I believe you print a paper called Workers Arise. Yes, that's right. Well, I'm trying to get in touch with the editor, Mr. Gregson, and I believe he's recently changed his address, isn't he? No, it's just that I thought he might take an article from me, actually. Thank you.
Vince! We did it. You planted it?
Yep.
Them. He did 3.
You haven't brought the fuzz back with you? Like your old man's private eye?
No way.
Good lad. You're learning.
What's the piece?
Students' grants.
The time is past, long past, when the suppliant student should kiss the arse of society for his right to study. That's a bit much, isn't it?
Caused an awful lot of agonising in the Ministry of Education.
Well, in hell. Just words, isn't it?
Well, that's all we got.
Don't be so naive, man. It's what words lead to.
Come the day.
Amen. I trust you caused great consternation in the hearts of assorted shop managers, did you?
Well, Jan did. She put an Irish accent on the phone. It worked wonders.
I suppose we'll be getting a visit from our friendly local CID. Oh, no, officer. This isn't the editorial officers. Nothing to do with distribution. No, officer, nobody's been out of the flat all day. What a dastardly deed to interfere with the smooth ebb and flow of retail sales. Still got this lot to get rid of course.
Yeah, afraid so.
Who'd ever want to start a paper? I don't know why you hang around here, Robinson.
Well, somebody's got to correct your proofs. Your spelling is bloody atrocious.
Oh, no, not again. 3 halves, please.
That stunt we pulled isn't going to solve any problems, you know.
Yeah, I do know.
What are we going to do about all those bills?
Well, I think Mr. Robinson might help.
Over his dead body.
No, I'm not so sure.
Look, don't be too hard on Giles, eh?
What, me?
Yeah. Hey, listen. They're having a meeting over in the factory.
Oh, yeah? What's that about?
It's about the terms for reopening. The lads wondered if you'd like to come over.
Yeah.
Well, if you feel like it.
No, yeah, I'll see you over there.
Yeah. Cheers.
Bye.
Giles. Have you got any money, love? Oh. Does it bother you, then, that he might get hurt? Do you fancy him?
And if I do?
I think you might be disappointed.
I think he's nice.
Ooh, damned with faint praise.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right, I'll have another pint, mate. What's the matter?
That's that private detective guy.
Do you want something, mate?
Sorry, what's that?
Sussing us out, are you?
I'm sorry you got the wrong fella.
Look, leave it, Vince.
Sodom. Just earning your bread, are you?
Oh, just having a drink.
Ex-bent cop.
Bent cop? What's that? I've never heard such a thing.
Just give old man Robinson a message from me, will you?
I shouldn't think he'd want to hear from you, would he?
Oh, what's wrong with me, like?
I've got to tell you.
Come that loud with me, mate, and I'll knock your bloody teeth down your throat.
He's much better.
You just tell Robinson that I've got a good cause just begging to be helped. Get off my back.
Feel better?
Sure. Listen, you and Gilesy make a good team, right?
What are you getting at?
I think it's about time you did your little hoax again. Only this time for real.
What time did you say your train was?
18 minutes past. Now, you know the drill this end.
Yeah.
Scared?
A bit. Look, Vince, I'm not...
It's all in a good cause, love.
Yeah.
I'll have to dash. Good luck.
He's sharing a flat with a man called Vincent Griggs and a woman called Janet Frisbee. What it's all in there. Oh, it's something else might interest you.
What's this?
Oh, I suppose you could call it a successful rival for your son's affections. He sells it on the street. Also, he's one of its major contributors.
Does he know you found him again?
Not yet, no.
I see.
Ah, good morning.
Now, I bet you didn't give him my message.
Yes?
Mr. Robinson, in, love?
Have you an appointment?
Shouldn't think so.
I'm sorry, Mr. Robinson never sees anyone without an appointment.
Just tell him it's about his prodigal son, will you, love?
Will you wait here, please?
What about my son?
My name's Gregson. Vince Gregson. Perhaps he's mentioned me to you.
No.
Oh. Oh, that's a surprise. Or is it?
What do you want?
Oh, may I? You're a businessman, Mr. Robinson. A very successful one.
You get to the point, please.
I've got a proposition to put to you. A business proposition.
Not interested.
What, before you've even heard it?
Nothing you have to say could possibly interest me.
Nothing. Now, you're quite sure about that, Mr. Robinson?
What proposition?
I've got a newspaper, you see. Perhaps you wouldn't take me for a newspaper tycoon. Well, it's not a vast circulation, but an impressive readership. Top people. I see you've got one there in front of you. Well, not everybody's cup of tea, of course. Scarcely the Guardian or the Telegraph.
I take it you're trying to sell me something, Mr. Gregson. What?
Space.
Space?
By the inch. £1,000 an inch. Interested?
What makes you think I'd want to advertise in a thing like that?
Well, I thought you might want to present a new image to a skeptical public. Major conglomerate seeks new social compact. You know, the kind of PR crap.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gregson. I'm just not interested.
Look, I've saved this space for you, especially right next to the editorial. I really do think it would be in your interest to think about it, Mr. Robinson. Yours and Giles.
Do I detect some sort of a threat?
I'm in this dilemma, you see, about Giles. Well, he's a friend of mine. But then I do have a duty as a citizen.
What exactly are you getting at?
We share this flat, you see, me and Giles. Practically live in and out of one another's pockets, really. Well, if we hadn't, I wouldn't have found them.
Found what? Well, come on, get to the point.
Bombs. Incendiary devices.
I don't believe you.
I didn't believe it myself at first. I mean, Giles Robinson, son of the wealthy industrialist. But then what'll the police think? He has made quite a name for himself as a left-winger at Southern recently. Dropping out of college, taking part in the work-in, writing the stuff he does write in the paper. Well, what'll the police think? That's what bothered me.
I see. Well, let's find out what they think, shall we? Louise, get me Detective Inspector Fairbank, will you?
Perhaps I could have a word with him. Well, I'd say it was the least I could do. Give him advance details. Time, place, store. Which floor they're going to plant the bomb on. Along, of course, with a detailed description of the personable young man who's going to do the planting. After that, let's ring the papers, shall we? Well, they wouldn't miss it for the world either, would they?
When that floor walker came up to you...
I thought I'd die. I was petrified.
No, you weren't. You didn't look it.
I was, I tell you, petrified.
Well, it didn't show. You were great on the phone. That Irish accent.
Hey, we did it.
Yeah. Hey, can you imagine their faces? I mean, when they clear the store and find it was just another hoax.
Can you imagine their faces when they find it isn't?
What? What did you say? What do you mean?
Well, come on, Giles. Either you play the game or you don't.
Are you saying we plant an actual bomb?
It just burns. It's nothing lethal. Well, nobody will get hurt.
Why? What for? Why didn't you tell me?
Would you have gone through with it if we had? Get me a drink, will you?
Yeah, sure. You should have told me.
Yes. Still.
Well, why didn't you call the police?
For God's sake, man. My son was involved.
Mr. Robinson, I'm not sure that I care all that much about your son.
I couldn't talk to them.
But you knew there was a bomb there likely to go off. The place was full of people. Innocent people who don't give a damn about capitalism or communism, just want to do their shopping in peace.
Look, there's no problem. He gave me the name of the store and I rang them. They'd already located the thing. It didn't go off.
Well, that's not the point, though, is it? Next one, mine.
There won't be a next one.
How do you know?
We made a deal.
What kind of a deal? How much?
5,000.
So he's a blackmailer, too, is he?
Yes. Can you prove it? Without witnesses? Well, the whole business coming out. You can imagine the sort of meal the press would make of a thing like this. I'm not just anybody, you know.
Oh, well, of course, if it's going to be like that.
Just strike moral postures with me, Mr. Marker. If your son was involved, what would you have done?
How do you know your son was involved? How do you know the whole thing isn't simply a big bluff? Just to squeeze £5,000 out of you?
I don't know, and I can't take the risk. Could you, in my position?
What are you asking me as a father or as a businessman? What's to stop me going to Percy Furbank right away and giving him the whole story?
You prove it? Who are your witnesses? Me? Giles? Gregson?
If you've given Gregson the money?
I told him I wanted to think it over. He gave me 24 hours.
But you are going to pay him?
I have no choice.
By cheque?
Yes.
Let me deliver it.
Why?
I might be able to save it for you.
Why should you?
If you think it's worth 5,000 quid just to keep them off your back, forget it. There's no such thing as a once-and-for-all payment, not with a blackmailer. Don't mind if I use the phone, do you?
Anybody in? Jan?
Hi. How'd he go?
Push over.
Did he cough?
He will.
Clever boy.
Where's the lad on?
Having a bath.
How was he?
How do you mean?
On the job.
Job?
Yeah, in the store this afternoon.
Oh, he was very good, really.
Drink?
No, thanks, not for me.
You been having a party?
We had a few drinks, yeah.
When you got back, eh?
To settle my nerves. You know what I'm like.
Oh, yeah. Just the two of you.
Well, of course.
Very cosy.
Two 499 Marker here. Ah, hello, Percy. How are they treating you? Stop it, you'll have me in tears. Percy, I left a couple of names as your sergeant. Vincent Gregson and Janet Oh, you have? Good. Well, what... Civil disobedience, what does that mean? Oh, I see, that kind of thing. Nothing criminal. Just a hunch. Trying to find out where a revolutionary ends and a criminal begins. Yeah, I'll bet you would. OK, fine. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Do you have to?
What?
Slop around like that all morning.
Look, it's my flat.
You look a real scrubber in that thing. Do you know that?
She looks all right to me.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I see. So you're the resident expert on birds all of a sudden, are you?
All I'm saying is she looks all right. It doesn't bother me.
Well, who the hell cares what bothers you?
For God's sake, let it drop, will you? Go and get dressed.
It's all right, I'll go.
Morning.
What do you want?
Got a message from your father, from Mr. Gregson. Can I come in?
Let him in.
Thank you. Your cheque. Oh, it's 5,000, wasn't it? You did know, did you, that your mate here has been squeezing your father for 5,000 quid just to keep your precious name out of the papers?
What do you think, Giles?
Well, why not? He can afford it.
Oh, of course, that makes it all right, does it?
The way my father got it, yes, it does.
I see. What happens to the money now, then?
Don't worry, it'll be put to good use.
Yeah, I bet it will. Bigger and better bombs, eh?
Look, we've got no idea what he's talking about, have we, Giles?
No, of course you haven't. You're just a bunch of amateurs. Why would you have any idea?
Right, you've had your little say then, have you?
Not quite. Look at that. You have a read.
Belfast? That's not what we're on about, man.
I thought you were so concerned about your fellow man. Seems to me what you're doing could end up like that. Oh, you're amateurs, all right, but keep on going. You'll get there one day.
We're not killers.
No, I don't think you are. I think you're just silly. I'm not so sure about him, though.
I think you're looking for trouble, mate.
No, I'm not, but I think you are.
Look, it was just a hoax to get some publicity.
This time?
But there wouldn't have been another time.
Well, how can you be so sure? You know, you've come a long way already. Dropping out of college, stirring up industrial trouble.
There's nothing illegal in that.
What, planting bombs? That must be illegal. Not to mention accessory to blackmail.
Look, you can't prove that.
You don't know what I can prove.
Look, perhaps we were wrong, but it wasn't a good cause.
Oh, come on.
Well, what cause? Oh, I'd like to know.
Or democracy. True democracy.
There must be a better way. Have another think, eh?
What a creep. Oh, come on. You don't go for all that crap, do you?
I think what we did was wrong.
What? The money or the bomb?
All of it.
You just haven't got the guts when it comes to it, have you?
It was wrong.
Look, Giles, you can't change society by sticking to the rules.
You don't really care, do you? I think he was right about you. You don't really care about people.
Why don't you clear off as well? We don't need you. What the hell are you...
It was the wrong way.
You stupid little bastard!
No, Vince, don't!
All my years carrying the message. Living from hand to mouth, talking to deaf ears, sponging to keep that paper going. The first money we get, you chuck it away. You bloody middle-class revolutionaries, you make me puke.
Vince? Vince?
Hello. Sit down.
She's left me.
Sit down, Mr.
Biddle. Arthur.
Close the door, Mr. Biddle.
Eh?
The door.
Oh, yes.
There we are. Sit down.
She's left me. Gone. I don't mind telling you, it's knocked the stuffing out of me, this has. But you think about it. You think about it being the worst thing that could ever happen. And then it happens.
This is your wife, is it?
Hey? Yes.
Well, can I have some details?
She was a lovely girl. A lovely, lovely girl.
Well, tell me about it.
Well, I have to work, you see. I'm the sous chef, the under chef at the Bridge Hotel in the London Road. I have to be there till 2 in the morning. Anyway, I took the taxi home. There's no light on in the hall. She usually leaves the light on for me, you see. No light anywhere. No sandwich. Nothing. I go upstairs, and she's gone. Clothes, everything. The lot.
This was last night?
No, last week. I still can't get used to it. It gets worse as you go on. Can't sleep, can't eat.
But what do you want me to do? Do you want me to find her, or get evidence for a divorce, or what?
Divorce.
Well, that's what people usually come to me for. It has to be faced.
Oh, I don't want divorce.
Well, what do you want me to do, then?
Well, can't you just find her? I can't stand it. It gets worse as you go on. I want her back.
Mr. Biddle.
Biddle.
Mr. Biddle, suppose I tell you the terms and then we can talk about it, £8 a day, plus expenses. Now, any idea where she might be?
Well, she's round here somewhere. I know she is. That's why I came to you. You're the nearest.
Oh, I see. And what have you got? Photographs?
No, not a recent one. No, not as she is now.
Well, how would you describe her as she is now?
Lovely girl. Lovely complexion. Fresh, you know. Not like these girls now, all caked up.
She's, a bit younger than you, is she?
She belongs to me. She should never have been taken from me.
Oh, you mean enticement?
Enticement?
Is there another man involved?
Yes, the bastard. She should never have gone with him. I told her time and again, but I was never home at night.
Oh, you knew about him, did you?
Stories?
And what's his name, then?
Stafford. Brian Stafford. I heard he works at some light engineering firm.
What, Churchy Light Engineering?
Something like that.
Yes, probably it.
You find him. You find him. And she won't be far away. Silly girl.
Mr. Biddle, how old is your wife?
54.
I see. And the man's name is Brian Stafford. Now, what does he look like?
Crafty little sod. You'll have to watch him, Mr. Marker.
Tea, please. Tea.
3 pence.
Hello, Brian.
Hello.
I called round last night. Mrs. Lyle said you'd gone for a walk.
Yeah, I did.
How are things?
All right, can't grumble.
Comfortable at Mrs. Lyle's?
Oh, yeah, great.
How are things at work?
Terrific.
Mr. Garner seems very pleased with you.
Oh, yeah?
Things going quite well, huh?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Lyle. I didn't mean it. I just wanted to know if you had someone of that name staying in your house that... Hello, Mrs. Lyle. I wonder if you can help me. Do you happen to have somebody called Stafford staying in your house? Would that be Brian Stafford? Oh, do you want to disturb you?
No, it's all right. We have finished dinner. Right. Come in, it's all right. Forgive me. Your face is new.
Not to me.
Well, it is to me, and I thought I knew all the Jacks around here. Coffee or tea?
A cup of tea would be nice.
It's not fresh.
Coffee. Afternoon. You weren't born locally.
How did you guess? Maria Pileggi until 1944.
War bride.
8th Army. Bill. He died 3 years ago.
Oh, dear, I'm sorry to hear that.
It happened.
Thanks.
You've been in Chertsey long? What's your first name?
6 weeks. Frank.
You're not married, are you? You should have stayed with me, Frank.
Yeah, smells good.
It's the best food in Surrey. They all come flocking around, even you lot. What is it this time?
Well, it's about your Mr. Stafford.
Yes? What's he done?
Hasn't done anything. I just want to ask a few questions, that's all.
Always they say the quiet ones are the worst. You don't say much, do you, Frank?
Oh, I do.
What's he done, anyway? He owes money?
Hang about, let me ask something.
All right, what?
How many guests have you got in the house?
4, permanent. The rest, they come, and they go.
And Mr. Stafford, he's one of your permanents, is he?
He pays his rent.
Has he got any mates, any friends, people come to see him?
Oh, come on. What's he supposed to have done? He not pay on the HP?
Has he got any women friends?
You have seen him.
No, all the same, do any women come to see him?
What sort of women?
Well, a middle-aged woman, fairish, good-looking.
Look, I run a good house. They get their breakfast, they get their dinner, and that's it. And if they don't like it, they can get out. But no women.
Well, have you ever seen him with a younger woman? Tallish, dark, nice-looking girl.
He comes home, he washes, he goes out. All he does here is get his breakfast in the morning, watch his telly in the evening, and sometimes I think he goes to the toilet. Okay? We all got our lives to lead. Capisci?
It's too big. It cost me a fortune in petrol. Haven't you got anything smaller? A van would be fine. Well, how much would that cost? Well, I'd only need it for a day, or perhaps 2. Mr. Garner, and I'm sorry to phone you at home, but my name's Frank Marker. I'm a private inquiry agent. Private inquiry agent? Oh, no, one of your employees. A Mr. Stafford. I think he's a lathe operator. Mr. Garner, it's quite open and above board. All I'm hoping to find out from you, if you can help me, is how long Stafford's been working for you. That's all, nothing more. 3 weeks. Thank you very much. Oh, Mr. Garner, one more thing. Can you tell me, where did he work 3 weeks? Hello, Bridge Hotel. Can I speak to one of your chefs, please? Hello, is Arthur there? Arthur Biddle. Has he been off all day? Oh, no, it doesn't matter. I've got his home number.
Hello? Oh, hello, Mr. Marker. Yes, I've had a migraine. You haven't found her, have you?
Well, no, Mr. Biddle, I haven't. Not hiding hair of her.
And what about him? What about Stafford?
Oh, I found him all right, for what it's worth.
Where is he?
Well, you were right about where he works, but otherwise a bit disappointing. As far as your wife goes, I mean. Mr. Biddle, you sure we got the right fella? Small, darkish, long, thin face.
That's him, all right. Clever little bugger he is. You'll have to watch him, Mr. Marker. We'll catch him together sooner or later. You'll see. She'll be there. She'll be about.
Well, look, Mr. Biddle, I've followed him everywhere. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't drink. He's got no friends. And the only woman I've seen him with doesn't fit your wife's description at all.
Ah, well, she could be telling him, bringing a message.
Well, this is costing you money, you know.
I don't care what it costs. She'll turn up. You'll see. I shan't be working tomorrow. You ring me here. I'll be waiting.
And he woke up, a film went round twice.
2p.
And it was 3p. And he woke up the same place where he fell asleep, so he didn't know that he'd been to sleep before. And I had to sit on it twice. Did you get...
Ah, it's you. Hey, you better come in.
Okay. In here.
Yeah.
It's no good, Mr. Biddle. She's not with him. There's nobody with him. Ever. I can't go on taking your money.
I don't believe it.
Oh, suit yourself. I have been watching him for 2 days. Try somebody else if you like. They tell you the same story. Wherever your wife is, she's not with Stafford. Anyway, he knows I'm watching him.
Hey?
Yeah, just now at lunchtime, he came up to me, sat opposite me in this cafe.
Which cafe was this, then?
Oh, the one behind the library where he goes every day.
You know where he lives, then?
Oh, yes.
Well, come on. I've paid you, haven't I?
No, not yet, you haven't.
I'll pay you now.
What?
How much?
I haven't worked it out yet. What's the rush?
Well, if she's gone, and that's all there is to it.
Eh?
Where does he live, exactly?
Yes?
Oh, excuse me. I'm looking for old Arthur. Arthur Biddle. He's not about, is he?
No, we're busy today. He's not here.
Ah.
No, he's off work. He gets migraines or something. What did you want him for?
Well, it's to do with his wife, actually, you know.
His wife?
Huh.
Changed her mind, has she? Coming back to him after all this time?
Ah, not that long, is it?
What, since she left him? It's more than 10 years, that's for sure.
10 years?
Well, I've been here 8. She left him long before I came here.
Are you Marker?
Yeah.
Well, I hope you're pleased.
Oh,
You know what you've done, don't you?
no, too.
To a man called Brian Stafford. I'm his caseworker. I've been trying to help him. As you may or may not appreciate, Mr. Marker, men like Stafford need a lot of help. I've been trying very hard with him. He's not the easiest man to get through to.
I see.
It's taken me all of 3 weeks to get even the faintest response out of him, and then you come along. Start asking questions, upsetting his employers.
Not upset anybody.
Oh, come off it. Private detective ringing up the manager about one of his workmen who'd just come out of prison.
Oh, no.
Well, don't tell me you didn't know.
Oh, I should have cottoned on straight away.
It is written all over him, the way he walks, the way he looks.
Has he been in a long time?
A very long time. Couldn't you tell? They all look old, they all look grim.
Yes, I know, shuffling up and down all day in carpet slippers.
Oh, then why? Why do it? Why hound the man?
I was paid to.
It's a dirty little job, isn't it?
It's a dirty little world.
Isn't it just? Following him everywhere, upsetting his landlady, and now, this morning, Brown Stafford packs his job in because of you. Or whoever it is that's paying you.
Was paying me. I've finished the job.
Oh, you certainly have. He's moving on. Satisfied?
Oh, wait a minute. Miss. Hey, what's your name?
Price!
Well, Miss Price. I thought it was an ordinary, straightforward, run-of-the-mill job. Man's wife goes missing, he wants to get her back.
What's that got to do with Brown Stafford?
Well, he was supposed to be living with her.
Brown Stafford?
That's what I was told.
But when you saw what he was like, you must have known.
Oh, come on now, miss. You must have seen yourself. The most unlikely people... I mean, when I first saw you, I thought you might have been...
I bet you did.
Anyway, it turns out my client's wife left him 10 years ago.
Brown Stafford's been in prison for 15 years.
What was he in for?
Murder reduced to manslaughter. He killed his girlfriend.
His wife? Hey, wait a minute, what was her name?
Sandra Biddle. Why?
That's right.
Oh, God.
What's your bloody game, Mr. Biddle? Hey? You think I'm daft, do you? Well, do you?
Why should I?
Tried to con me, didn't you? Told me a pack of lies from start to finish.
I had to.
You dropped me right in it. Do you realise that? No, you don't, do you?
Nothing to do with you.
Oh, isn't it? Well, let me tell you, Mr. Biddle, anything you do now falls back on me, so what's it all about? If you do anything as a result of information gained from me, I get done as well. I get done for accessory before and after the fact. I get done for compounding a felony. Have you ever been inside, Mr. Biddle?
It can't be any worse than this.
Well, you're not going to drag me down with you, whatever you're trying to do.
I'm not trying to do anything.
You're just wasting my time.
I'm paying you.
Yeah, but why, for God's sake?
For Sandra! I owe it her.
Mr. Biddle, that was 15 years ago.
It didn't happen to you, did it, Mr. Marker? Doesn't matter how long it was. People put flowers on graves, don't they? I owe it to her.
Have you talked to anybody about this? Doctor? Anybody?
Nobody knows how I feel. Only one person could do that. My Sandra. She knew what love was. She was full of love. Until that bastard choked it out of her. The only one who's ever loved me. Because that other cow never did. The cow. Forget her, she said. Forget her. My flesh, my blood. She was my life. Not bloody chefing and then coming home to moans and misery. But she always had a smile for me. Hello, Daddy. She was beautiful. You never saw her. She made up for it all. And now look at me. But I'm not finished. I've swore. And I don't care about anything else. I could have been in a first-class hotel. I could have been anything. She'd have been married by now. With one or two little ones. How can he pay for that?
Oh, he has paid. You want to see him? He spent the last 15 years in prison. And there isn't a lot left. He's paid all right.
Not to me. He hasn't.
Not much we can do, is there? You know the form as well as I do.
Well, could it be said to constitute a threat? threatening behaviour.
Who to? You? You've never been in the force, have you, Mr. Marker?
No, never had that pleasure.
If you had, you'd know. You say this man Biddle hired you to look for his wife. His wife has gone, he's covered. And that's what you get paid for, right? Now you say he was only after Stafford, a convicted man. You've assumed this man Biddle intends violence towards Stafford.
Oh, yeah?
If he denies it, it's your word against his. Now, if Stafford were to make a complaint...
Yeah, but Stafford hasn't seen Biddle.
Oh, but he's seen you. He could lay a complaint against you, couldn't he?
So there's nothing you can do, eh?
Well, not until and if Biddle makes a move. If he does, we'll have him. Then you should be in the clear.
I see. I just thought it might come under the heading of crime prevention, that's all.
No, you have to have more than that.
So it all comes down to Biddle, and will he do anything?
Thanks.
And if so, what?
Well, you've seen him. What's he like?
Oh, middle 50s, something like that, lives on his own. Something very odd about him. He's either half cracked or very clever.
Think he's dangerous?
It's hard to say. But he has lived with this idea for an awful long time. He might well convince himself he's got to do it.
How far do you think he'd go?
I don't know. And whatever it is, he's been feeding on it for 15 years, and it's eating him up.
Well, you can see how it happened, though, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, once Stafford was inside, he was a scapegoat. Biddle could blame him for anything that went wrong. Problems at work, Stafford's fault. Wife leaves him, Stafford's fault. Starts losing friends, going downhill, it's all Stafford's fault.
Yeah.
That's what keeps him going. Does he drink?
I don't know. He certainly lives in a world of his own, no doubt about that.
Well, it's not much good us just sitting around here talking about it.
No, and the police don't want to know either.
I wish Brown didn't have to start again there somewhere else. Oh, I can get him a job in another town, but that's just passing the problem on.
Yeah, well, I suppose I could have a word with him.
Oh, what's the point?
Well, in a way, I feel I owe him something.
In a way, you're the same kind of man.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, you know what I mean. Would you like me to fix it up?
No, I know where to find him.
£3p.
Mr. Stafford, I'm sorry. About the job and that. Miss Price told me. Gave me a right going over. I had no idea. I've got a fair notion of how you must be feeling. I would never have taken the job on. Fact is, I lumbered you, didn't I?
Forget it. Only a job.
Look, there isn't much I can do.
Don't do anything.
Do you want me to push off?
Please yourself.
I'm in no hurry.
Let's have it then. What you come to say.
You do know who put me onto you.
Mr. Biddle.
Do you know why?
Hasn't he told you? Do me in.
But doesn't that worry you? Would me?
Nothing matters very much. Very little matters at all.
That's it, is it?
Miss What's-name said you'd been inside.
Yeah.
You'll know then, won't you?
Oh, look, mate. Look, mate, you're not inside now.
No.
No, and I'll tell you why, shall I? There's nobody to look after you, nobody to tell you what to do. You're responsible for yourself.
Sounds terrific.
You haven't seen Biddle lately, have you? I have. Spoke to him this morning. He's not quite in control, you know. I reckon he'll have a go at you.
He's entitled to, isn't he? I would if it was me. Look what I did. I killed her.
That was 15 years ago.
They all say that. You're supposed to get over it. But you don't. Never. Mr. Biddle hasn't, has he?
What happened?
All over the papers.
I'm asking you.
Look it up. You want all the interesting details?
No.
Crime of passion, what they call it. It all went black, Your Honor. That's what I was told to say. I knew what I was doing. They said it was on. Wasn't there. I just got back from Cyprus. On leave, Remy. I'd written her a lot of letters, you know, the way squatters do, fed up and far from home. Anyway, I meant it. I was telling her everything, you know. Down by the lock gates, nice summer night, just after the pub shut. She started laughing. Turned out she'd been showing my letters to a lot of other blokes just for a giggle. So I hit her. She started screaming and that was it. Not really, though. Look at her old man. What I done to him.
You reckon you owe him something, do you? Do you?
Sort of. I don't know. Well, I'm off. Lights out.
Hello, can I speak to Miss Price, please? Oh, is Miss Price there? Any idea what time? No, sir, I'll ring over. Will you tell her I'm anxious to get in touch with her? My name's Marker. M-A-R-K-E-R. That's right. Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, hello.
If it's Arthur you want, he's not here.
Oh, he's not off again today, is he?
He's off for good.
What do you mean?
He left this morning. What did you do? Find his missus?
What, you mean he's definitely quit?
He was in here first thing, picked up his cars and went off with his tools.
What tools?
His tools. All his steels, his knives.
Mr. Biddle? Mr. Biddle? Mr. Biddle, you up there?
Christ, Mark here. I'm at Biddle's place. No, it's not. He packed in his job this morning. And he's had a couple of drinks, by the look of it. But he left the front door on the latch. Listen, I think he's out looking for Stafford, and it won't take him long to find him because I told him where he lives. I'll tell you something else, too. Stafford isn't going to try to stop him either. I spoke to him last night. He thinks Biddle's entitled to his revenge. He thinks it's only fair he's been waiting for it. Will you get in touch with the police? Yeah, Inspector Davis. He might listen to you. And I'm going to Stafford's Digs and I'll see you there, all right?
Yes.
I'm looking for a Brian Stafford.
Oh, come in.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I was hoping to find a Brian Stafford.
What, at this time? He's at work.
I think you'll find he's not working anymore.
Not working? He said nothing to me about it. What do you want him for?
Well, I used to know him, like, years ago.
How long he not be working?
I don't know much about it. A friend told me.
I speak to him when he comes in.
You wouldn't happen to know where I might,
If he's not working, he down the calf.
How did he appear to you, Mrs. Lyle?
He was a nice man, very clean.
Did he seem upset in any way?
Upset? What do you mean upset?
Had he been drinking?
Oh, I don't smell anything. He'd only been here a minute. Look, I'm a busy woman. A man come, he asks for Mr. Stafford. I say he's not here, and now I get the police.
Has he turned up?
Oh, it's you again. How many more? Everybody come in. I only got a house full of men to feed any minute.
Mrs. Lyle, where did this man go? Do you know?
I told him to try the calf.
Which one?
I know.
Right.
Tell Stafford when you see him, I don't want any trouble in my house. He can come and get his things and get out. Perché non voglio la polizia in casa mia. Basta!
Get you live and learn.
Excuse me, we're looking for the little bloke that's always in here.
Oh?
A little quiet fellow. I was sitting here with him last night.
Oh, yeah, you just missed him, went off in a taxi.
Alone or anybody with him?
This is Inspector Davis.
CID.
No, I don't think so. He was the only one in here, so I was out the back. I heard a ding, I come in, and there he was getting into a taxi.
Did the bell only go once?
I think so. Because the music, see, I couldn't hear
So he was the
anything.
only person you actually saw?
Yeah.
Well, there you are.
Well, did he phone for the taxi?
Oh, no, we don't let him use the phone. In the back.
What do you think?
All right, I'll put out a call for what it's worth.
Let's have 3 teas, eh?
3 teas?
Me, I've got work to do. I'll put out the call, and if you hear anything, you can give me a ring, can't you?
Great help, as usual.
Well, what can they do? I mean, we don't know they're together.
I bet that was Biddle's taxi.
Well, if it was, where would they go?
Wherever they are, if Stafford's gone off with Biddle, it's his own lookout.
He is my responsibility.
He's got to lead his own life. And so has Biddle. You can't soften the blow all the time. You've got to take a chance. Anyway, we may be worrying about nothing. Mind you, the rest of the house is a bit of a mess. You should see that room. He's got all her clothes, all her shoes. He's got her makeup. He's got a scrapbook of the trial full of pictures and headlines. Place looks like a shrine. Poor bastard. Where did you park your motor? I think I know where they are. Remember this, do you, Brian?
It'll open all right. It'll still open, Brian. I've tried it. Go on. You know where. Recognize it? Do you, Brian?
Oh, yeah.
That's the place, isn't it? Isn't it? This is where you brought her. Where you brought Sandra. Isn't it? Isn't it?
So different. Doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything. I'll make it mean something. I'll show you what this place means. Show you what you've done to me. Ruined my life, you know that. Ruined it. Wrecked it and ruined it. They don't think about that, do they? Nobody thinks about that, do they? You should have swung. That's what justice means. You should have swung!
You don't know what you're talking about.
Don't I? I'll show you what I'm talking about. You'll come back here.
What do you want from me? What you got? What do you want to do?
I'll bloody show you. Now then. Now then!
Do it.
Oh. You think you're bloody clever, don't you? You got away with it once, didn't you? But this is me now. Me, the one who suffered. The father! The father! You've no idea, have you? What you've done. Look at you, bloody laughing. What about me? My daughter, my wife. I could have been anything. Stop bloody laughing. Stop bloody laughing.
I never meant to, Mr. Bishop. I never meant it. Sandy.
Oh, where is he? Where is he?
Thank you.